That's what it is.
What does it say?
Hold on 1 second, because you definitely have to have Wi-Fi. And there you go. Yeah, how about you catch up to my brain? Thank you. Thank you so much. Technology. Exactly my point.
Down at the bottom where it shows where you leave the meeting and you join the meeting and stuff.
Yeah.
You see that little emblem right there that shows the computer screen with the inner sign on it? It's the third one.
Oh, start sharing my. Okay, hold on. Then let me look it up on
share
here.
If you want.
So the thing is, I always look up on my iPad because I take my notes. Remember I told you I have now it's up to 71 tabs open. The other day it was 56, I think, and we got to 60. Okay, so I'm gonna share now. Stay tuned. Start sharing screen.
Sure.
What do you see?
There we go. We got something.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
And so, a bacterial disease causing severe diarrhea and dehydration. So I imagine maybe he became septic if it says that he was near death from it. I was septic before.
It's in water, contaminated water.
And where he lived in Croatia. Well, he didn't live in Croatia. He was in Syria or something. And then, but of Croatian heritage, a part of.
I think you're right. I think it was Croatia because they got a museum there for all the stuff that he has. I actually watched the video on it. I think it is Croatia.
Okay. Yeah, I know
rare.
He is Croatian.
Read that. Go back up. Extremely rare.
Extremely rare. Fewer than 1,000 U.S. cases per year, treatable by medical professional, spreads through contaminated food or water, requires a medical diagnosis, lab tests or imaging always required, short term, resolves within days to week, critical needs emergency care. But I wonder, can we find out how many people die from it?
Do they have an option for history? Is there usually they have a category for the history of it.
Okay, spread across the world from its original reservoir in the Ganges Delta in India. 6 subsequent pandemics killed millions of people across all continents. The current 7th pandemic started in South Asia in 1961, reached Africa in 1971, and wow, are you kidding me? And in America is 1991.
Mm-hmm. So it's not as small as what that article made it out to be, I guess.
Yeah, at first it made it seem like it's no big deal. You can have it and then, just go to a doctor and stuff like that. But if you can't do that, then that's crazy. If it's a pandemic. And this is what the WHO is saying. So we have a little basic Google nonsense. And then, but they like to put stuff more than it is. But I doubt they would if it was. Look, a global roadmap to 2030 will end from 2030. That's when they hope to end it. A global strategy on cholera control. Most of the infected will have no or mild symptoms. Wow, and can be successfully treated with oil. So, how would you know you have it? Then, if you have no symptoms, here we go. A virulent disease that can cause severe. Okay.
Now, see, they even classify it though as rare, and let's just say, for example, that freaking he had it. Okay, that's fine. But what if he didn't have it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they just said that that's what it was in order for them to be able to make it. See, that's why I was saying about with him being sick and die. What if he was being poisoned?
He died from a freaking hit and run accident. He walked outside in front of his hotel room and he was ran down by a car.
Well, but that was ultimately.
But you see,
he didn't die from the accident. He stayed he didn't die from the accident. He thought the injuries were not that severe, and so he kind of just brushed it off. Yeah. and like he died. I don't know how long. I don't say weeks. Within a week or two, a few days later, something like that. Within a week or so. But I don't like to do the time thing because I really do not recall the exact time frame they said. But I do remember it was because they and I have a book. Okay, well we can just separate. But they were just talking. But yeah, they were talking about he thought he was fine. The car accident is not what killed him. Contrary to popular belief, everyone thinks the car accident killed him, but he got up from the car accident, was fine. And he actually ended up dying later. I'm telling you, they were poisoning him, and I don't know. And he, like, I feel like he told me that he was being poisoned. Now that's where I sound like a crazy woman, so I don't like to express that too much. But I'm telling you, and I keep saying it. Oh, he got poisoned. He was poisoned. He was poisoned. And before me and you had this conversation, I had a talk with him. This was like a little while ago, and he said the same thing. And then now we're talking about it out loud, like putting minds together, and we're talking like you think, even you thought like about the car accident, like no, the car accident isn't what killed him. And so for that to be something that's popularized, because I thought everyone knew the car accident didn't kill him. So if people really think the car accident did kill him, like if this is common, if this is not common knowledge that he really did not die from it, he probably did get poisoned. Like they put the car accident out as the diversion, but then they have this select avenues. You know how when stuff goes away and people feel like telling you exactly what happened, like, oh, I was in the CIA when this happened, and this is what really went on, and we lied to you about this, we lied to you about that. So I could imagine them coming and saying, no, he actually died from this, or just having the documentation from the hospitals if they're no longer being suppressed. He got poisoned. I want to know who poisoned him.
Yeah.
Like who was who was around him, because like there's no way to go back. Well, we can go back there, but it causes
the issue for me is like the basic fact that they're trying to say that this guy was desolate and alone, poor, living in a hotel room by himself. Okay, couldn't even pay his rent. Freaking, what was his bail? Wasn't that who it was? The guy that hit his competitor.
No, Edison. Well,
Edison was,
yeah, because it was his predecessor first, and it was his mentor, and then his mentor, he kind of shunned him.
He turned away from him because he wanted to freaking create free energy.
Well, yeah, so he introduced the AC current, and Edison had just developed the DC current. He was like, no, I think this, and he was an apprentice for Edison at the time. And he's like, hey, I think this would be a better idea. And they kind of like, oh, you lowly poor boy. They tried to play with him like he just broke lane and he doesn't know anything.
Is this man paid his hotel fees up until his death because he was penniless and couldn't pay his own freaking rent.
Because he had a gambling issue, like, but it wasn't even a big gambling issue. No, it wasn't. He only did it in school. The only time that he got kicked out of school because he stopped going to class, and so when he stopped going to class, he dropped out. But where he was at going to school, and where he was going to school, like he had to get barred because you had to have a visa or something, have a reason to be in the country, and he had no reason to be in that country once he was no longer in school. But he was hiding in the streets. I don't want to say in the streets like a homeless man, but he was living in like little apartments, and he would shoot dice and stuff. He was gambling, and then so I can understand he might have had a money issue, or where people kind of like manipulate him and say, hey, we have to take care of your money if we're going to give you any money. He asked for $50,000 in order for him to get funded for his idea, for his concept, and they completely shunned him. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And so then he ended up quitting with Edison, and that's when Westinghouse.
Stuff about the gambling, though. I mean, don't you think that could also have been like a smear campaign? You know?
Yeah, just to taint his integrity, and taint his character. Absolutely, he's so smart. He's a brilliant man, and he's so like he's a good guy. That's why I know it was. Like, I mean, yeah, he's a yeah.
And I mean, just in his death alone, it's mysterious because, like we were talking about the other day, we didn't have it on stream though, so I'll bring it back up. You know what I mean? But it's like think about it, all right? The man was a genius, like you just said, okay? And you know how much money a person who can freaking repair a radio back then would have been making? That's like the equivalence of a computer programmer here today, in today's world. You know
right. With a new software present. Yeah, that type of investment. Yeah.
Back then they had radios, and I don't think television had come out yet. If it did, it was a new thing. but it was right around that time period, you know. But he would have been one of those people who would have been able to freaking repair those things, if just that, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So you're telling me that he was homeless and or he was poor and desolate and couldn't freaking manage to take care of himself, even though he had the ability to fix freaking radios if he had to.
But and he started with he started doing it. He had a cat named Magic, and I like the reason why it stuck out because the cat's name is basically Magic, but it was Magic. But that's what got him interested in being able to learn these things because his cat, like I from if you watch the documentary, the one that I saw, and I'm gonna link you, but it sounds like it was something to kind of taint his image. It sounds like just even the way the story is told, it's kind of like here's the basic information, but I watched a few different documentaries on him, so that's kind of why I kind of can see the contradiction and put the information together a little bit. But when regards to the DC current that he was attempting to not just necessarily dismantle, I feel like he was attempting to just adjust and make better before he was told absolutely no, and that's why he went to AC. We use that now, like almost everything is alternating currents, and but the thing about it is that it's cheaper. It's a cheaper alternative, and that's the biggest issue with people with Tesla. Like people don't like the idea of not spending money.
Do you know that freaking after he invented AC, they literally lit the entire freaking farmers market in honor of his invention?
With like one generator. Westinghouse ended up investing. He bought the patent off of him for like $1 million or whatever, which back then was like $1 gajillion. And so Westinghouse was supporting him. But then Westinghouse's investors said that they were no longer going to support him if he continued to support Tesla. So Tesla bowed out graciously and kind of said, hey, look, you can keep all this stuff. You helped me out. I appreciate that. And he kind of made a move to kind of do something different.
Now, have you ever heard of HAARP?
HAARP, right?
Right.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but can you refresh my memory and let me pull up a new tab?
I can read it.
Oh, I'm still sharing my screen. I apologize. Should I unshare? Or should I look up HAARP on here and then share? Are you going to read it?
HAARP, to be also clear on it too, like HAARP actually is also a freaking company too. It's the world's most capable high power, high frequency transmitter for study of the ionosphere. Okay, that actually does exist, but
oh wow, and it's in Alaska. That's interesting because there's so much part. You can only travel to a certain part of Alaska. You're not allowed to really do much there. I don't want to say do much because on what kind of scale.
The military has antennas there for transmitting frequencies for communication and stuff. And my little cousin, when he was up there stationed there as an MP, said that when he was on watch duty,